Happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having an amazing weekend. Look, I've been making blackberry jam. This is the blackberry jam with bits in. My wife does not like the bits because they get stuck in her teeth. So I have made her 2 jars like that of jelly and 2 jars for me with all the bits in it. It is the first blackberrying of the season. I went blackberrying last Sunday and I harvested, well, I think it was like nearly 3.5 kilograms of blackberries, which turned out to 4 of those large jars of jam. And to harvest the blackberries, if you remember last year, I had a bit of a nasty fall on a ladder because the ground here is very uneven. What I did this time round was I was smart. I put a ladder in the back of my F-150 Lightning and then I backed the Lightning up, got into the bed of the pickup and then onto the ladder. I was able to, harvest all of those tall blackberries without having any issues at all. Forgive the trailer. This is a trailer we're taking to fully charged, everything electric in Vancouver. I must stop dead naming the convention. I'm sorry, everything electric. We've had it open today because it's been really warm and I washed it out yesterday to make sure it's nice and fragrant. Anyway, you're here for gardening, so let me show you some gardening. I'm going to show you the greenhouse at the end. But everything around here is doing incredibly well. My watermelons have really started to grow. Have no actual factual watermelons yet. I don't know if the season is long enough, if we will see any, but we do have some pumpkins. Check this fella out down here. This pumpkin is massive. It's already starting to grow to a decent size. And then we've got another one hanging out there. And there's another one down there. The corn, well, the corn is filling out slowly, bit by bit by bit. And the butternut squash, well, that's starting to think about flowering too. So we should have some of those as well soon. Over here, well, you can see we have a bee sitting on some beans. These are beans here. And the bee is getting hold of the beans. These bumblebees, in fact, it's just jumping. Look at that. These bumblebees are everywhere this year and they are doing incredibly well. I'm just going to put you on that leaf like that. It's been very hot today and very humid and some of the bumblebees are a little bit tired, as am I. But look, the sisters planting method is working. We're seeing these beans climb up. And then if we go down into the huge numbers of massive leaves, I mean, just look at the size of these. We have some massive zucchinis and courgettes, or courgettes, I suppose. If you look down here, this one is now heading towards marrow status. I'm planning on keeping it and then I will make something called, there you go. There goes the bee. I will call it something, I will make something called mock duck and I will probably use like impossible meat in it. You basically scoop out the inside of the marrow, which is like an oversized courgette or zucchini. You scoop out the seeds on the inside and then you fill it with a filling that's normally made of, you can actually use like a mince filling, like a hamburger filling. They call it over here, which I think is ridiculous. I'm just going to call it mince because that's what we call it in the UK, and I'm going to use fake meat mince for that. Put an onion in, some carrots in, and then you can cook it and you can treat it a bit like a Sunday roast. It's really yummy. So I'll be cooking that in a couple of weeks' time. Over here, well, we've got more squashes growing, and for some reason, this corn still hasn't done any flowering. So I would love to know what I haven't done right. I think that this is the painted corn, and I think that corn over there is the popping corn, but it might be the other way around. This is corn that you can just eat on the cob, and it has not yet started to grow any cobs, but I don't think it will be that long. Meanwhile, over here, This corn has started to grow cobs in a few locations, which I find really interesting because it was the slowest one to get going. And as you can look, it's been a bit half-assed in its attempt. Nevertheless, we have some more pumpkins over here. There's one right there, there's one round there, and there's one right there as well. My beans, they are done for the season, but you'd think they were all gone and forgotten. But no, you can see here we have some fresh growth. And there are some fresh bean pods coming, so I need to go through and harvest those. I haven't eaten them. They might be past the point of eating, but hey, I can't complain. Just look at those pumpkins though. They are growing incredibly well. This is the first year that I've had any success in growing pumpkins, and I'm really excited about it because I've always wanted to have pumpkins at this house because it's a good location to grow pumpkins, and I've always wanted to give it a shot. The strawberries. The strawberries continue to produce fruit. I'm going to give Ashley a strawberry there. The chicken tax has to be paid. The strawberries are growing incredibly well. They've got some more coming here. I'm getting like 3 or 4 strawberries a day right now. Earlier on today, I actually got a few more than that, so they are coming along nicely. The carrots are doing well, even though there are now weeds growing. But the carrots were pulling up. Some of them are like this, so I guess we're doing everything right. And look, I just want to talk to you about bumblebees. There are not very many bumblebees in a lot of areas, but if you look here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I saw some others earlier on. 7, 8, 9 over there. And then if you walk round to the front of my house, where I have lavender, we have even more bumblebees. So there are many, many, many bumblebees here at the house. And I'm really happy about that because it means that we are doing our bit to help bumblebees. More zucchini. Then come in here. We'll see how many bumblebees are in here. Earlier on, it was nothing but bumblebees, basically. Right now, though, you can see that I have been cutting things away, and I feel like a butcher. I have been coming in and I've been cutting away a lot of the tomato plants because they had got so tall and they were basically falling into the walkway, which doesn't do any good for them. It doesn't do any good for other plants in the greenhouse. The cucumbers are doing the same thing from the other direction. So you can see I've been cutting some of the cucumbers away, but look, we still have huge numbers of cucumbers just every which way you look. Cucumbers, absolutely every blinking where, and there's some more at the back there. These cucumbers over here, these are the lemon cucumbers. They are now starting to grow. Got a bumblebee chilling out down there. End of the day, the bumblebees like to come in and they just hang out. There's 2 there, look. They just hang out in the flowers and they hide there overnight, and then the next day when it warms up, off they go and they're back out again. There's actually 3 bumblebees in that particular flower. There's a couple over here. There's one just chilling there. There's one just chilling there. There's a couple over there. So literally bumblebees everywhere. But there is one very, very cool thing that I want to share with you, and that is we have a ripe tomato. I did end up cheating. My mum told me to put a banana next to the tomatoes. Something to do with chemicals these guys give off helps tomatoes ripen, and it started off the process. I have already had my first ripe red tomato from the greenhouse this year. It tasted lovely. I had it for lunch today. If I have a peek in the back here, I don't see any more red tomatoes yet, but I suspect by this time next week we will have many, many red tomatoes. You can see that the tomato plants are suffering a little bit because it's just been so blinking hot today, hot and humid, and they don't like that any more than we do. This is all that's remaining of this particular plant. We've actually decided just to let this one fruit and then finish, but you can see this tomato is starting to change colour, so it won't be long, I think, before we start to see many more tomatoes growing. And then over here, we've got some trusses up the top here that are also soon going to be turning. So I think the tomato harvest this year is going to be exceptional. Also this year, the apple tree that hides back there that I never talk about, it's technically my neighbour's, but he doesn't harvest the apples, and he's told us, yeah, you can just help yourself kind of thing. They are going to be good this year as well. I cannot wait to see what that looks like. Anyway, tell me how your garden is doing and what you've been up to. I unfortunately lost the remainder of my onions. I don't know why. I wish I did know why, but my onions decided they would all go a bit squishy. The garlic's fine, but the onions, no. So anyway, tell me what's going on in your garden. What have you been making? Have you been blackberrying? Have you been harvesting other things? And I will see you this time next week as per usual. Take care and enjoy your time in the garden before the weather turns. Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them below in our Discord chat room, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of more than the 1,500 people who help fund this channel through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and making sure we can be 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. There are a range of different tiers you can sign up for, from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, just under $11 a year. A huge welcome to our newest supporters: Biggs Bronson, Philip Panya, Stephen Trudeau, Laura Connolly, Paul Giblin, Kaboombox, Oliver, John Franks, Bill Lascelle, Brent Smith, Terry and Rich UK, Wendy Kelly Budenbaum, Joe Hamlin, Ilian Oster, Brian Curry, Chelsea Williams, and Adekunle Ferinia. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member and get your moment of fame. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have an old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at, address also below. And if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store in the down below. This month, we're talking about accessibility with our latest t-shirt design, and keep your eyes peeled for a brand new special t-shirt for our trip to Everything Electric in Canada next month. We've got some great content coming up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we think that this one is also well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving!